Hello everybody, welcome back to PW with me Vandana in yet another session of IELTS 4 weeks to success. Let's quickly get started. This is going to be another reading session and I have got another type of question type for you for today's session. Let's get started without much ado. So, we are going to be talking about one of the most notorious question types of IELTS reading, and that is yes, no, not given. Usually, we find yes, no, not given in either passage 2 or passage 3 of IELTS reading, where the level is pretty advanced. So, let's quickly dive deep into it and understand tips and strategies and understand what exactly yes, no, not given is. And of course, we'll do some live practice. So, here we go. Okay, now what happens in yes, no, not given is that we are given a set of statements and we have to answer whether those statements are yes, no or not given. Quite similar to true, false, not given, but there's small little difference. We'll talk about that. Now, how exactly do you figure out that the answer is yes? Hi Shivdas. Okay, so how exactly do you figure out that the answer is yes or the answer is no or whether it's not given? So this is the information that's given to you at the top of the question. Let's quickly read this. So it says if the statement agrees with the views of the writer. Now you need to understand a very similar question type is true, false, not given. Now true, false, not given and yes, no, not given are very similar. I wouldn't say they are the same, but they are similar. Now, true, false, not given is based on the factual information given in the text, whereas the yes, no, not given is based on the opinions of the writer that are mentioned in the text. Let me quickly give you an example. So, for example, if I say that New Delhi is the capital city of India, is that a fact or is that my opinion? That's a fact, right? But if I say that Delhi is a beautiful city, now is that a fact or is that my opinion? That's my opinion. So true, false, not given is based on facts, whereas yes, no, not given is based on writer's opinion, which are mentioned in the text, in the passage. Number one. Number two, मैम प्रैक्टिस कैसे करनी है? आपको DPPs मिल रहे हैं. आप यू नीड टू एनरोल योर सेल्फ PW एप्लीकेशन में से आपको एनरोल करना है इन IELTS 4 week to success. There, according to each class, you are getting PDFs to practice. And if you are talking about books, then only Cambridge books are good for IELTS preparation. No other book would be recommended by me. So either go with the daily practice papers, the PDFs that we are preparing for you, and you'll find that on PW app. Just enroll yourself on IELTS 4 weeks to success and you will get all this stuff for free. Otherwise, you have Cambridge books also, which are just phenomenal. Okay. Yeah. So we were talking about yes, no, not given. Okay, so just give me a sec here. Right. Okay, so if the statement agrees with the view of the writer, whatever is written in the question statement, if it matches with the views of the writer which are there in the text, then it's going to be yes. If there is opposite, contradiction means if whatever is written in the question statement, the text contradicts it. Contradicts means if the text has given opposite information. For example, the text is saying go in left direction, but your question statement says go in right direction. That is contradiction, opposite information. In that case, it will be no. Okay, thank you, Tariq. And when will it be not given? When the text just does not talk about that. For example, if the question says that go in right direction, but the text is just not talking about any direction. Okay, so in that case, we do not know which direction to go according to the text. And that is why the answer in that case becomes not given. Let's understand a bit more in detail. Okay, so yes means that the full meaning of the question statement can be found in the passage and the meanings are the same. Question's meaning and the text meanings, they are matching exactly. No means that the meaning of the question statement is actually wrong and there is contradictory information in the passage. Contradictory means opposite information in the passage. Like I gave you that example of left and right direction. And not given means that the information in the question statement isn't found in the passage. So we can't say if it's correct or incorrect information. So same thing, the information would be missing. Let's quickly understand a few tips and then we'll start with live practice. Okay, tip number 1. Okay, like I told you, true false not given is very similar to yes no not given, but please be careful on the day of exam. In place of true false, you cannot write yes no and vice versa. Vice versa means in place of yes no, you cannot write true false. So be very careful. If you get true false not given, write true false. If you get yes no not given, write yes no as your answers. Don't shuffle them. Then I'm saying yes, no, not given questions are based on writer's opinion, like I explained just now. And the answers are in order. This is important. This is very, very important. You know what? Sometimes students get stuck on a single question and they are not able to get the answer. When that happens, apply this technique. For example, you got your answer to question number 1 and now you are stuck at number 2. You don't know what the answer to number 2 is. You are confused. Move ahead, get your answer to number 3. Now for number 2, you now should know that your answer should lie between number 1 and number 3. इन दोनों के बीच में नहीं मिल रही अगर वो information. If you are not getting the information for number 2 between question number 1 and 3, that means you're not given hai. That means wo information missing hai. Okay, so your answers are going to be in sequence. They are going to be in order. So don't waste time on any question where you are not able to find relevant information. Move ahead. And then between those two questions, try and see if the answer is not given. I hope that made sense. Okay, scan the passage and first, of course, you will notice the keywords. Now, how exactly we will find our answers? Will we read the entire passage for one single question? No, we don't do that. We go to question, we pick out the main keywords and we try and locate those keywords in the text. When we try and locate those keywords in the text, we simply scan for those keywords. Scan means you don't read sentence by sentence. Scan means you run your eyes across the text to quickly get those keywords. But yes, I'm sure if you are an IELTS aspirant, I'm sure you know that while you are scanning, you may not get the same keywords because the language is usually paraphrased. So keep your eyes open for the synonyms of the keywords that you have picked. All right. Remember, you can highlight words in the passage to help you. And if you are somebody who's going to take computer-based IELTS, there also you can highlight the keywords on screen. All you have to do is, whichever word you want to highlight, just select that word and right-click. Once you do right-click, you will get the option to highlight. So utilize that option to highlight. Now, you may need to read and read. Yes, this is something very important. A lot of students tell me that I am not able to retain a lot of information in my head. अरे भाई वो तो कोई भी नहीं कर पाएगा ना, इतना सारा information है passage में, मैं भी retain नहीं कर पाऊंगी वो सारी information अपने mind में. You will have to read and reread the question also and the relevant area also. बार बार पढ़ना पड़ता है to get the right answer. Okay, एक बारी में नहीं समझ में आता है. Then, it's not a game of matching just a few words, very important. It's just not a game of matching few words, guys. You have to match the entire meaning of the question with the meaning given in the text for it to be true. Moving on, yes. Now this is a little bit of tricky thing. They play tricks with you. They play games with you. They just twist the language. So what do? They, as in whoever is setting your IELTS question paper. So look here, be careful of these kind of quantifiers. For example, and some, all and some, they are not the same thing. If the question says all books, but the text says some books, it means they are not matching. Similarly, these kind of words, your tall, tallest, they are not one and the same thing. Even taller, tall, taller, tallest. These three are not the same. They are different. And the games are played using such things. So be very careful, okay? Now let's get started and let's dive deep into the... Okay, so we are going to answer these 5 questions. Let's show you the text quickly. Question number 1 says the Vygotsky model of education supports the concept of mixed ability class. Now, this is our very first question, and the main keyword over here is this name Vygotsky, because this is a name and this cannot be paraphrased. So, locate wherever you see this word Vygotsky. I see it here. Another important keyword here is the Vygotsky model of education supports the concept supports. This person's model of education supports the concept of mixed ability class. Now read this. I'm giving you about 1 to 2 minutes. Read this and post your answers quickly in the comments by 4:32. Off you go. Sorry, 4:12, not 32, 4:12. Yes. Tell me whether it is yes, no, or not given. Okay, come on. Post the answer. All right. Final 10 seconds. Please post your answers quickly. Okay. The answer for question number 1 is no. Let's understand why this is no. Okay. So, once again, the question says that this person's model, whose model? Vygotsky model of education supports what? It supports the concept of mixed ability class. Now, what is a mixed ability class? Where you have students of all intellects, where you have very intelligent students, then you have intermediate students also, then you have below average students also who struggle a bit. So the question says that this guy's model, Vygotsky model, supports the idea that yes, we should have those kind of classes where we have mixed ability students. But the passage is denying that information. Passage says no, we should not have mixed ability students, and it's mentioned here. Okay, let's read from the top here. It says, in the 1930s, Vygotsky emphasized the importance of targeting a student's specific zone of proximal development, ZPD. Now, what is ZPD? They are answering in the next sentence. They are saying, what is ZPD? This is the gap between what they can achieve only with support What kind of support? Teachers, textbooks, worked examples, parents, and so on, and what they can achieve independently. So, according to what is written over here, what is ZPD is? ZPD is the gap between what students can understand themselves and what students need help for. And the gap between that zone is known as ZPD. Now let's read further. It says the purpose of teaching is to provide and then gradually remove this scaffolding. Scaffolding means support. That means they are saying provide and then gradually remove the support. until they are autonomous. That means, okay, first support the students, but then remove it until they are autonomous, until they are able to independently study. That is the tone here. Now comes the main punchline. They are saying, if we accept this model, if it follows that streaming students with similar, here you go, similar ZPDs. What is similar ZPDs? That means intelligent students are sitting with intelligent students. I mean, in a class, we have all intelligent students. Then there's another class where all average students are there. Then there's a third class where all below average students are there. So, similar ZPTs means they are segregating classes based on intelligence level. That means in one class, you will see one kind of intelligence level. You will not see mixed ability class. Okay. So once again, let's read here. It says, if we accept this model, it follows that streaming students with similar ZPDs would be an efficient and effective solution, and that forcing everyone on the same hike regardless of aptitude would be madness. So what they are saying over here is that forcing everyone, using same strategies on everyone, whatever their aptitude is, whatever their intelligence level is, whether they are highly intelligent, whether they are below average, if we are using the same strategies for all students, that would be madness. That means they are not in the support of mixed ability class, and that is why our answer here very clearly is no. Yes, the language is advanced, but this is how IELTS reading is going to be. Let's take a look at the second question now. So it says, some teachers are uncertain. Uncertain means they are not sure. Some teachers are not sure of what? So some teachers are uncertain about allowing students to take on MKO roles in the classroom. And what's MKO role? It's written over here. You need to see whether teachers are uncertain about this MKO role or whether they are not certain about it. Read and post your answers in 2 minutes by 4:19. Off you go. Come on, this is a very short paragraph. Start posting in your answers. Last 10 seconds. All right, so the answer over here is not given. Why exactly is it not given? Why exactly is it not given? Yes, Taurik, I can see you were about to post the answer and I can see it was the right answer. Okay, so why exactly it's not given? Let's read the question once again. It says, some teachers are uncertain about allowing students, about permitting students to take on MKO roles in the classroom. Now, what is MKO roles? Let's quickly read. So it says, while streaming might seem to help teachers effectively target a student's ZPD, it can underestimate the importance of peer-to-peer learning. Now, what is peer-to-peer learning? That is student-to-student learning. When you are sitting in a class, you interact with students and you learn with other students. You learn from them. That is known as peer-to-peer learning. So, it's written over here that it can underestimate the importance of peer-to-peer learning. A crucial aspect of constructivist theory is the role of the MKO. Now, role of the MKO, they are talking about it. What exactly is this? They are saying more knowledgeable other. That means a person who is more knowledgeable than you. That is MKO. And then it's written, more knowledgeable other in knowledge construction. Then it's written, while teachers are traditionally the more knowledgeable others in classrooms. That means in classrooms, usually teachers have more knowledge than others. The value of knowledgeable student peers must not go unrecognized either. But even in students, one student may have more knowledge than the other, and that student who has more knowledge than the other, that should not go unrecognized, that should be recognized. Only that information is given here. But the question is saying that some teachers are uncertain about allowing students to take on MQ roles in the classroom. No such information is given whether teachers are uncertain or whether they are very sure of it, and that's why our answer is not given. Moving on to the next one now. Here you go. So the question says, it can be rewarding to teach knowledge which you have only recently acquired. This should be easy. It can be rewarding to teach knowledge which you have only recently acquired. So read the question, read the passage, take 2 minutes, and then post your answers in the chat box, in the comment section. I'll see your answers in just about 2 minutes. Off you go. Okay, come on. Post your answer. This is simple. Very simple. Okay, why this is no, Tariq? This is yes. The answer is yes here. Okay, let's understand why this is yes. I believe the last part would have confused you. That is why you have posted no. But that's okay. Let's quickly understand. So the question says it can be rewarding. That means it can be exciting. It can be wonderful to teach knowledge, to teach others about that knowledge which you have recently acquired. The kind of knowledge that you have just recently learned and now you are teaching it to others, that sort of thing is exciting. The same thing is written here in the passage, and it's written here. They are saying there is also something exciting. Rewarding is equal to exciting. There's also something exciting about passing on skills. That means teaching knowledge, passing on skills. So there's also something exciting about passing on skills and knowledge that you yourself have just mastered. Isn't it saying the same thing? Rewarding is written as exciting. Recently acquired, it's written as just acquired. Teach knowledge is written as passing on skills. The same thing. But I understand why you got confused. Let's talk about it. Okay. Let's talk about it once more. All right. So what they are saying over here is there's also something exciting about passing on skills and knowledge that you yourself have just mastered. What is exciting about it? A certain pride and zeal. Zeal means enthusiasm, energy. A certain pride and zeal, a certain freshness. You feel pride, you feel energy, and there's something freshness up. There is little freshness about it to the interaction. From here, now they are comparing. To the interaction means as compared to the interaction between teacher and learner. So they are saying this kind of interaction, this kind of knowledge sharing which you have just acquired is more exciting as compared to this kind of interaction which is happening between teacher and learner. That is often lost by the expert for whom the steps are obvious and the joy of discovery forgotten. So here they are saying that if you see the same kind of knowledge sharing between teachers and students, it is not so exciting for teachers because they do it every day. That's what is written here. Joy of discovery is forgotten. But if you have acquired that knowledge just now, just recently, then it is rewarding, then it is exciting. It's okay, Kashyap. With practice, you can ace anything. You can master anything with practice. Okay? Practice is the final mantra here. Don't worry. I hope this was clear. Let's move to the next one now. Here you go. So we have two answers coming from this paragraph. Question 4 says the priority should be to ensure that the highest achieving students attain their goals. Highest achieving students is the main keyword and priority. Then in number 5, taking part in collaborative. Collaborative, if you are somebody who struggles with vocabulary, collaborative means teamwork, doing things together. So, taking part in collaborative outdoor activities with teachers and classmates can improve student outcomes in the classroom. Can improve student outcomes. Outcomes means result in the classroom. So, okay, I'll give you 3 minutes till 4:30. Post both the answers in the comment section and then we shall discuss your answers. Off you go, guys. Yes, they are. Yes, no, and not given. Already 2 minutes are up. At least post answer number 4, guys. Come on. Let me see. Okay. Number 4, yes, it is no. So let's see why it is no. Number 5th is not given. Let's understand both these answers. So, and let me have another color over here, right? So, question number 4 says the priority should be to ensure that the highest achieving students attain their goals. That means they are mainly in the question, they are saying that, okay, we should be focused on whom? On highest achieving students, on those students who are super sharp, who are super intelligent. We should be focused on them. That should be our priority. That is what the question is saying, but the text is refusing it. Where exactly is it refusing it? It says here. It says, and today more than ever, we need the many to flourish. So it says, at present. Today means at present. We need many students to flourish. Flourish means to do good. We need many students to do good, not suffer at the expense of a few bright stars. So few bright stars means highest achieving students. So they want many students to do good. They don't only want to focus on the brighter ones, as is written over here. They don't want the many students to suffer because of these few bright stars, because of these few highest achieving students. So no, they are not the priority. Question says they are a priority. Text says no, we want others to flourish. Okay, that's how it is. No, let's see how number 5 is not given. So here they are saying taking part in collaborative outdoor activities. Is the passage talking about outdoor activities? Yes, it is talking about outdoor activities. Then what is missing? Let's read. So it says taking part in collaborative outdoor activities with teachers and classmates can improve students' outcomes in the classroom. Where is it written that these outdoor activities can improve student outcomes? These outdoor activities can improve their result. Where is it written? Nowhere. Let's read. So it says from here, once a year I go on a hike with my class, a mixed bunch of students. It is challenging, that means it is difficult. The fittest students realize they need to encourage the reluctant. Reluctant means who do not really want to go for outdoor activities. So the fitter ones need to encourage these people who don't want to go for outdoor activities. That's what is they are trying to say here. Then it's written there are lookouts who report back. Lookouts means people who keep an eye on others. That's what they are meaning here by the word lookouts. So there are lookouts who report back and extra items to carry for others. We make it together. So that means the outdoor activities, they make it fun together, they make it successful together. But where is it written that it can improve student outcomes in the classroom? Fine, they are talking about outcome here. In outdoor activities, they are saying we make it together, but they are nowhere talking about result in classrooms here, which is why it's not given. I'll have to work on speed reading as well as vocabulary. Absolutely. Speed reading is super important when we talk about IELTS reading. That is very important. And that was about it, guys. I believe it was helpful. These are the answers which we have just covered. If you want this entire PPT that I used in today's session, you enroll using PW app, enroll in this free batch which is IELTS 4 weeks to success. You don't need to pay a dime. You don't need to pay a single penny for it. And other than these PPTs, you will get PDFs also for extra practice. And that is about it, guys. I hope it was helpful and I'll see you in the next session. Bye bye, everyone. Take care.